The antique music box was a monstrosity of polished, dark wood, intricately carved with scenes that seemed to shift and writhe in the dim light of the attic. Its origin was unknown, a relic unearthed during the renovation of my great-aunt Millie's estate. Everyone warned me against it. "Best leave that thing be, Alara," the housekeeper, Mrs. Davison, had cautioned, her voice raspy with age and a fear I couldn't fathom. "It's got a dark energy clinging to it." But I was a collector, drawn to the peculiar, the macabre. I dismissed her warnings as superstition, a product of her rural upbringing. Besides, its craftsmanship was undeniable. I convinced myself that the unsettling feeling it evoked was merely the result of my own overactive imagination. One stormy evening, alone in the crumbling mansion, I decided to wind it. The mechanism was stiff, protesting with a grating shriek before finally giving way. Then the music began. It wasn't a melody, not really, more a series of discordant chimes and mournful sighs woven together into a soundscape that made the hairs on my neck stand on end. The air grew cold, heavy with a damp, earthy scent. The shadows in the room danced with newfound vigor, stretching and contorting into grotesque shapes. I felt a presence, a cold, watchful eye boring into me from the darkness. My heart hammered against my ribs, a frantic drumbeat against the ominous music. The carved figures on the box seemed to move, their limbs flexing, their frozen expressions twisting into silent screams. I tried to stop it, to silence the horrific cacophony, but the winding key was stuck, frozen solid in its place. The music swelled, building in intensity, and the feeling of dread intensified with it. Suddenly a whisper brushed against my ear, a voice like the rustling of dry leaves and the scraping of bone. It was faint, barely audible, but I understood it, a chilling promise slithering into my mind. "She's coming for you." Panic seized me. I backed away from the box, stumbling over a forgotten trunk. The music grew louder, more frantic, as if responding to my fear. I could now discern individual sounds within the chaos, the faint sobbing of a child, the scraping of fingernails on wood, and a guttural, animalistic growl. The shadows in the room coalesced in the corner, forming a vague humanoid shape. Its outline flickered and wavered as if struggling to solidify, but the intent was clear. It was reaching out, its formless hand outstretched, yearning, hungry. Terror lent me a strength I didn't know I possessed. I grabbed a dusty candlestick from a nearby table and hurled it at the box. It struck with a resounding crash, shattering the glass lid and scattering the intricate gears across the floor. The music sputtered, choked, and died. The shadows receded, shrinking back into the corners. The cold dissipated, leaving behind only a lingering chill. I collapsed against the wall, gasping for breath, my vision blurring. The attic was silent except for the howling wind outside. Had I imagined it all? Was I losing my mind? Then I heard it. A soft, rhythmic creaking coming from the hallway outside the attic door. The distinct sound of footsteps, slow and deliberate, growing closer. Each step was accompanied by a faint dragging sound, as if something heavy was being pulled along the floor. I held my breath, paralyzed with fear. The footsteps stopped just outside the door. A long, pregnant silence hung in the air. "Alara, I know you have my music box." The doorknob began to turn, slowly, agonizingly slowly. I saw the silhouette of a gnarled hand reach for it, the knuckles white and twisted. I knew then that Mrs. Davison had been right. I should have left the music box alone, and now, whatever evil it contained was coming to collect. I closed my eyes, bracing myself for the inevitable. The attic door creaked open, and the nightmare began anew.